So I found these two references and they're actually sitting on the same bench. So I'm going to have them next to each other. We're going to have this guy on the left. So we've got to start him quite high, top of the page. So about here. And we'll just start getting those shapes in around the head. This is silhouette technique this time. Okay, so going around, trying to get that shape, what his head would be. I'm using my Uniball micro pen here. It says the ball is about 0.5 millimeters. It's quite nice. It's a bit thinner than a normal fine liner that is a 0.5. So I'd say it's more like a 0.3. So look at that negative shape there and try and get that shoulder coming around the right way. Got some nice wrinkles there. We'll go into the face. See the hairline is about there. And then we have in the middle of the face the two brow. Let's get the eyebrows in. And then that same width, we go down a bit wider for this nose. And then just that the dark area is under the nose. And then a little bit on the side to show how wide it is there. We can draw the eyes, come up here about 2/3 up towards the brow. And there's the corner of the eye there. So let's just try a subtle line with a bit of a darker, thicker end. And now the lips, top of the lip about there. And let's draw the split between the lip, that, and then the bottom lip. Facial hair, that in above the lip. And then around the neck. So I'll keep it simple like that. I won't do too much more. And we'll use the watercolor wash to define some more of those shapes. Okay, now we'll look at the arm. So the arm is about 1.5 heads, about there. The shape of the hand there, the back of the hand should be a distorted square. And then we add the fingers on just loosely. You just get those basic shapes of this back of the hand, which is almost tapered square. And then you have another square here where the fingers are. Okay, and then the arm. You can see that square, that hand, and then the fingers. And there's some more nice wrinkles of that shirt. Now the leg, look at that shape here. So it comes down to this angle and then it comes out after the arm. Now legs can be quite tricky with the proportions. So that's where the crotch is in here. And then we can go 1.5 heads to the knee, about there. It's from this bottom part of the knee, 1.5 to the top of the ankle. Socks, some stripes, and then the shoes. So you've got to make sure these shoes aren't too big. Temptation to make them too big. Let's make the sole, or the heel, the back there. I'll draw a dot here if I'm not 100% sure. I can do that and have a look back. I don't want to make these too big. I'd rather they make them a little bit smaller by accident, because then I can increase the size. And then the front, so you've got a circle underneath the heel there, and then a bigger circle at the front. Just do some of these seams. I go over to the other figure. So these are actually separate references, but they're using the same wall. So I'll start here with this arm here, and I'm trying to aim to exactly where the other shoulders are, get the reference right. And then I want the heads to be in relation to each other. So I'm just going to go the silhouette here around this head, imagining that they're the same size, ear the same size. So I've got the chin and the hairline, they're the two most important lines. And then we can break that face up into 3. The first third can be the eyebrows here. Then at the bottom of the nose to break up the rest of the face into 3 sections. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3. The eye here and the mouth. So about a little bit up from halfway between the bottom of the nose and the chin. And add a bit of a curve, just a subtle curve. And then that bottom of the lip. Glasses. Try and hold my pen a bit lighter here. Square that. He's got his arm up there. See how it has a nice thick part and then comes back to the wrist. Tapered square, back of the hand, so at the ends of the fingers. And we'll go over to the other arm. Make sure that's the right length. They're just longer than a head. It's got a bag covering up some of the arm. Tapered square there. And then the fingers. So sometimes you can add little dots for the ends of the fingers to see if they're in the right spot and then join them up. So I'll try and do a tutorial one day just for hands. Got a few requests for that. Simple hands, not complicated hands. It's all simple. Just adding a bit of detail for the bag. And the hat. It's got another little bag, shoulder bag there that goes over the shoulder. Now I've got to keep him on the same wall. So there's the crotch there and there's his crotch. Now his leg is probably slightly further down than the other figure. Curves in like that, and that should be about 1.5 heads, 1.5 heads. His ankles there, they're turned. Make a nice shoe here. Should come around there. Just looking at that silhouette. Circle in the front, circle at the back, and then that curve back in here. It might not look like he's got his foot on the ground on my version. And then I'll put a little line here for that ledge they're sitting on together. So there's the line work for the two figures, looking like they're sitting together, I think. So now we're going to do some watercolor. Okay, so let's start with the skin tones. Okay, got my raw umber. I'm going to block in these shapes mostly around the hand, and that's about it on that guy. Now, so we've got burnt sienna for the other skin tone. Oh, so now I add the hair, a bit of dark deep blue, add a bit of black to it. And the deep blue will be the shirt colour here too. And this colour is cadmium scarlet, nice orange. Okay, I've got this light blue colour, and I'm going to do his pants this colour. And then back to that dark blue for the socks. Okay, so next we're going to add some olive green. So a bit on the hat and his bag. I'll make his bag olive as well. And then actually the bag here is orange, and there's a bit in his hair, darker under that. And the shoes here. Okay, nice. So that's the basic colours. So a little bit of red across that middle part of the face. And I'm going to use purple for the shadows. Okay, so start with the head here. Oh, let's test. We don't want it too dark on the face. Under the nose, don't forget that, and the top lip, and it shadows around. Those on the bottom surfaces of the shirt here and the arms, and around here. Okay, move over to the other figure. Bottom of the arm, his fingers, under the nose, around the eyes, under the knee here, and on the bottom side of the shoe. Now, I'm adding this here just to give it that sense of context. Maybe this orangey. Okay, so now I've got my white Posca marker to add some highlights. So let's add a little highlight on his nose. His socks actually has some nice white lines there. The important line on the glasses is just on the inside there. You can see a white line there. Here. Okay, there you go. There's the two figures from this reference. Managed to put them together in the same scene. Obviously they were photographed on the same background, so that made it a lot easier. Really happy with the way the legs are sitting in the angles, and they look like they're leaning in towards each other. If you want the real-time version of this, so you can sketch along with me at the same pace I am, then you can check out my Patreon, because that's where I post all my real-time videos. And thanks to my Patrons for supporting me. Really appreciate your support for all these videos. You can also check out my other tutorial here on people sketching. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.